Start with chairman's comments. I don't have any. Do you have any?
Nope.
George? Public comments, anyone? Code enforcement officer, we're not doing that. Support, letter of support, complete streets. I have some issues here.
Me too.
Actually, I have all but one issue here.
Yeah, I thought she was gonna come in. Well, maybe I was
I
wrong.
thought
about
she
that.
was too, but, I think she said she was gonna be away.
Okay.
What they're proposing is to provide speed signs with simple flashing lights to remind drivers to slow down. I'm thinking that that's a town vote thing.
Yeah, I don't like.
Reduce lane width with longitudinal restriping. Choke on 45. That's again, we're putting more stripes on 45 in our common area. 3 paint white edges, white edge lines, fog lines on West Road. West Road is not a state road, therefore does not need fog lines. Add entering town village signs on Route 45, General Miller Highway and West Road to alert drivers to need to reduce the speed as they approach the center of town. That I can agree with. One-way sign and parking lines on Main Street from Temple Town Hall to the post office. Now, these are all things that we talked about during the charrette and stuff too, as
Yeah.
well, but, nothing was voted on as to do any of it for the, by the townspeople. 6, remove the slip road from, Main Street to 45. And 7, remove the strip lane from General Miller. So I'm a huge no on this as of right now. If they want to do this, they can do a warrant article. Or we can do warrant articles as far as I'm concerned to get this signed off by the town and see what the town wants to do.
Okay, the fog line stuff, I remember that discussion. We can have them if we want. The state doesn't prevent it. And the idea was it would be safer, but then we've got to maintain all that stuff.
Right,
Repaint them.
we have to pay for it too. as
Yeah.
well. So George, any opinion on this?
I concur with you.
Okay. So unless they can come in and explain themselves in more depth as to why they think we can do this without a town meeting.
Fill out paperwork.
Yeah. I don't know, but all this paperwork is blah, blah, blah. The rest of it was just, there's a whole bunch of places for maps. There's no map. So anybody else have any comments on that?
Nope.
Highway garage, Kent Perry.
I came to request the board allow me to start the process of moving the funds to an account, which Kara is a 4312 account, which will keep track of everything. And I'm going to start the dirt work, moving the septic, removing dead trees that are out here. Some of them are leaning towards this building. I got a quote of $5,000 for all the trees. And talking to one of the local contractors to help me to move the tank quickly and stake out the area and hopefully put a pad in for this winter.
Is this for the new town?
Stage one.
Changes?
Yep, stage 1.
Yeah, I got all the maps and stuff from the old committee. Bruce gave them to me. It's all pretty much, there's no physical drawings, but there are dimensions, there are pricings, which I don't necessarily agree with all of them. I think some of them are missing things that should be in there as well, but I think this would give us a good start on maybe getting the pad in this year, or at least having it ready for next year. And there's a few things that we have to do in the meantime. Of course, the trees would have to come down, the septic has to be moved. So I have looked at all of this stuff and, I agree that we should start to do something over there versus just wait. And then, maybe we can get some, more information at a town meeting to progress on the building, what it's gonna look like, where it's gonna go, kind of thing. I think that's important to run through town meeting.
My only concern is we pour a pad, that pad's there to stay, so.
That is the footprint for anything that we build
Okay,
is the pad.
okay. And we certainly need these trees down, so that's a good thing.
Yeah, I mean, we have the funds to do it and we've been sitting on them for
Years.
over a year now. Just since we moved them, and I think it's time we get ready and these guys have the spot. Where they're trying, kind of transition in between now and winter, where things are a little bit slower. Which gives them time to do some of these things. So, I'll make the motion to, at least start moving the tank. Go ahead, Dan.
It's like if you just, I don't know about the funds or whatever, but it's a move funds from the. Or we ordered that county, right, to create that new account. And so, what's the other kind of account? Like one that you could spend from?
It's just a general ledger, basically. It goes into the general fund and it comes out of the general ledger under an account number that we can keep track of. Otherwise it stays in that fund that it's at, and then somebody has to keep track of all that stuff.
You should be to not go above that yet until town meeting. I'm kind of against what I'm gonna add this year.
Yeah, I mean, we could do that. We could do, well, there's a lot of things that have to play into here. You got some electrical conduit and stuff that really has to come in and be put down, whether we, put the building there or not. Irrelevant. If we are going to proceed that way, these things have to be done. Drainage has to be done. The trees have to come down. And, we have to get a, work order with PSNH, Eversource to, get things in motion so that we can move things around.
So Kent, how much money do you need for this phase here?
Let's see, the trees are 5. I don't have the contractor amount because I'm probably going to pay for it out of my budget. I have a contractor budget, so I'll probably cover that out of mine. Whatever the dirt work is required, which we're going to have to lay it out, but it shouldn't be too bad. So I'm thinking 15, somewhere in that range. It's not a big amount.
Yeah, I think the pad alone was 28 something if we are going to put the pad in. And I don't think that's a bad idea if we know that all our ducks in a row are in a row. And some of that also was time being donated, so I don't know that we would use the whole 28,000 for that portion of it, but I would definitely look into that more and get a hard number for that.
I'll
so
have
that we
more
can add
info
to,
after I get my contractor near. It's Tom.
Yeah, for right now, we really have to move the septic because the septic's in a bad spot. It'd be right underneath the corner of the building. It's just not a good place for it. All the way around. The conduit has to go in, the trees have to come down. So I think if we started with, say, 15, once he gets to that point, he can come back in and we can move some more money.
It'll be a step-by-step process all the way. Yeah.
All right. I'm fine with 15.
All right, so I'll make that motion to move $15,000 into a 401 fund that we can keep track of through our bookkeeping department downtown.
Second.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye, abstain. Nays? Nothing, anything else on that? Recreation Committee, Vivian's not here. Or are you here?
That's a
You here
little
for
bit.
Vivian?
I'll speak on it a little bit. Dan Canoyer Street for the rec. So I'm not sure. We're definitely at a standstill, and the contractor, the paver, the tennis court guys would do it, but their paver that they hire doesn't want to put his name on it. So I'm wondering if maybe at this town meeting in March, we'll take the 20 or 22,000. We've maybe vote to create a new account with that 22 and see if we can raise a little more and see about it. But right now it's just sort of a no-go. And that's even cutting out the basketball court work. Maybe we're thinking just going to one tennis court, and that would solve a lot of problems with that edging too on the hill. You know, we could actually create maybe even more parking on that side, or more other things at a playground, you know, if we just went down to one court, but we're still looking at over 50 grand. So
Wow.
right now we're at a standstill with our funding. We do have possible matching grant. So technically we're at 40,000 roughly. And we're definitely looking into other tiers of grants, because I think for the extent of the work, like a rebuild, we may even qualify for 70 or 80,000 grant for work like that. But, you know, for such a small town, I'm not sure what their cutoff is. But so it's looking like we're just on hold, and hopefully at this town meeting, whether the 20,000 just goes back to the general fund, or if we create a new maybe savings account that we can build up to maybe 2 years from now, having close to whatever the figure is going to be, like 60, 70, 80,000, whatever it's going to be for a rebuild of those courts.
Can we look into maybe getting somebody else to do the
Yeah,
asphalt
we
here
are
as
getting,
well?
we are going back to the other company that we originally got an estimate. We're going to look for 2 detailed estimates from them, and maybe even we're going to research like some other, maybe even less professional, I don't know, less
Okay. And I just to
extensive.
say something too about the $22,000 that we do have. Some of that is going to be paid out to the guy that was here for all of the
Right, yeah,
brush work and stuff that the prep work that he
They
did
did good work. Yeah.
to get that done. So we may have some money, but I mean, there'll be a lot of money, but we
Spend a-
probably have a $3,000 or $5,000 bill coming
Really for that.
against that. You know, I mean, there's 5 people there, 6
Yeah.
people there, and they spent the whole day.
Wow,
So
okay.
I'm just trying to get all the brush and stuff down. I mean, if anybody wants to go up there and look at it, it looks phenomenal now. It's all cleaned out and all the vines and stuff are out of the fence, and
People are using the court. There are some pickleball players that do use the court. They're probably very careful around the cracks, but there is at least one semi-usable side there. So
there's got to be some way to make those cracks either bigger or smaller, or do something to them so we can fix them and then pave over the whole thing. I think we have a good base there, except for where it started to tear
yeah,
up.
yeah.
So if we can stop the water from going in there, we'll have a decent base there.
Yeah, yeah. So I guess that's where it stands right now. So we're
Okay.
pretty much on hold until we get a few more estimates again and start, not quite from scratch, but
Alrighty.
Okay. We have a couple of permits to sign, and then we have minutes from August 26th, but we have other business. We have town common well.
You want to do that now? Or,
Yeah, we can do it now.
all right. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Pete Caswell called me, and he had Sheridan out there too, and they can't get the pump out. Said it's fused into the well. And Sheridan said this is not unusual after a lightning strike. So they got to get a drill rig in and basically knock the pump loose at the bottom of the well and then put a new pump in. $8 grand total. And they're saying we should get our insurance to cover that. So we should actually find out from Primex if that would affect our overall rate or not.
Yeah, I mean, it's much more money than the 2,300 he said,
Yep,
$3
well-
grand he said before, but, and we have $1,000 deductible, so.
Yeah, he thought he could get the pump out, but they tried. It is welded in there. So Carol, maybe you could ask Primex if this would, roughly $8,000 to fix our well, what's that's gonna do to us?
Yeah.
If anything. If it's nothing, then fine. Pete said that Primex showed up and said, hey, you guys are covered, no problem. But we need to find out what the effect is. All right, that's that.
Okay, anybody else have anything? Do you have anything? I just wanted to come see our smiling face.
Just saw the highway department on the agenda, so I wanted to just come and sit in and
Okay,
see what Kent had to say.
and under other business too, we have another building permit for Kingston.
All right, let's get our building permits done. I think Nick signs all this stuff.
Mr. George.
I think George, yeah, I haven't done this. It's been,
George. And you did George, you already got it.
I've got all those. George needs to do these. Jeez.
These George needs. This one's done. These are done.
I'm starting him signing this permit as well. I'm going to talk about it or just.
We can. Have a permit for 62 Converse Road. Sanderson, it's a, solar permit,
Okay,
and I believe this one is the,
5 should be the ground mounted one that you.
yeah, this is the ground mounted one. And he's got plenty of clearance there. We checked that, so. Already signed it. Then the next permit we have is General Miller Highway, again, another solar permit, this one's roof mounted. Then we have a building permit for Kingston for a garage. On, the Converse Road one. This one's all set.
this is for you.
Now it's signed.
Well, you're trying to just building inspector. So
Oh,
how would go around this?
Gotta do all those. Oh,
Vivian, are you here for the tennis courts thing?
No, I actually originally signed up to, the meeting because of the financial thing.
Sorry.
Vivian, for rec committee, this is about a financial question. And we would like to know if there are large expenses to be anticipated. Is there any way to have a check or through a credit card or debit card? And I'm speaking off the top of my head, that would be able to cover the cost instead of members expensing and then getting reimbursed. The huge one that we're facing coming up is for the Temple Elementary School senior dinner. All these years, Kimberly Sell has spent her own money, $800 to $1,000 or so on her credit card, and then gets reimbursed. With her anticipated retirement, these are the ordering of the food and everything is switching over to rec as it's in our budget to expense. So it'll be somebody going to Market Basket, and that's where all the food is, bought and expensed. So don't need an answer right away. We're just trying to be proactive.
Yeah, so you don't know the amount in advance. It's going to be whatever it happens to be.
I am going to be meeting with maybe some manager or something at Market Basket and see what we can do even for volume discount kind of thing. I am quite sure that Kimberly has handled this excellently through the years. So, but it is a town event and we'll see.
Okay.
But I just thought I'd ask if there's any way that that kind of expense, we've had other times when members might spend on their credit cards like upwards to $300-400. And just in general, is there a way that,
I mean, we use the credit card for the holiday lighting committee to buy lights and things like that. I believe I have an $11,000 credit line, 11 or 14,
okay.
on that card, and it's usually under 1,000 that's on it.
And to be very specific, so we're not losing the way here, this is not anything we're associating with the revolving fund. These are all budgeted.
Yeah, then you would
Events
give me
that
the
we-
account
yep.
number when the credit card comes in. I charge it to that account number that you give me,
Okay,
if they're in agreement with it.
right. So I'll coordinate that with, another question that came up is with events that we have where we might be charging at the door, $5 or whatever, if somebody does not have the cash, or if there is a way of more easily accepting a payment like Venmo or something like that, are there any other towns or any other committees or anything that has anything except cash check or, okay.
No. And the other thing too is I don't know if we want to get into any of those. We do have credit card processing for some things downtown. But I don't know that we're gonna expand that. And if we do, I don't know to what extent we would expand it to.
Yeah, and it wouldn't be able to, as it is now, I mean, it has to be done at the town office, so that wouldn't be of any use.
Right. Yeah, there's one particular instance that I'll check with one of the members about how that's going. Just to make sure that we are not having to have people accept funds into their own personal and then paying back into that. I just don't want to see that.
Yeah, that's the only way you could do it, and that's.
I know,
right,
and that's
a
not
good
acceptable. No.
idea. Good idea.
So I just don't want to get into that. And then the only other thing I was going to say about the tennis courts is that I've met with Christine Robidoux, so we're going to move forward. But I would suggest that we actually have like a subcommittee and then have open meetings that are announced. So we don't have to hear from people that they didn't contribute their ideas.
You'll hear from them anyway.
We'll hear from them anyway. I understand that. But just to let you know that that's, I don't know what more you'd have to say is, would it be advisable for one of the members of the board to at least be receiving information so they can, that kind of thing. But between suggestions of reducing down to one court, all these little things that are coming in, it's fine and dandy to say, okay, we'll send off the application to the USTA and work with them for whatever they can offer for funding. But it also involves just a whole plan.
Yeah.
So that's another big thing. So that's all I was going to say.
Okay.
Thanks.
Are you open?
Okay, so how many building permits have we done here? We're done?
We did 2 solars
Yeah.
and 1 other.
Yeah, we-
garage.
Yeah, we finished them all. Okay.
And we have meeting minutes.
Do we need another subcommittee?
I don't necessarily think we need another subcommittee.
Right.
Well, you know, you have sub.
Yeah, I mean, if they're gonna work on the grant, we can give them our stamp of approval to send the grant application in, and then we can worry about accepting it when it comes down to that.
Yeah, and the rec department, if they want to have a committee, they can have an informal committee and do it that way. Yeah.
Right.
Doesn't have to be-
Yeah.
And I wish he stayed, but I don't,
Well, she came late and left early.
yeah, I know.
Well,
Forgot where I was going with that anyways, but, you know, if they want a committee, then they should do the homework and get the
Yeah.
committee started and get it going. It's not something that we can produce anyway, so,
yeah, it's not urgent either. So,
yeah. And I mean, if they get the paperwork and stuff done for the,
Lost my minutes of the meeting.
oh, yeah. Actually, I shouldn't have put mine away yet.
yeah, one more. For the committee, then all the power to them, but I don't understand that we need to be involved in it. For the need. Maybe she can explain that to us at the next meeting.
Hmm. For a small town, we should have a lot of committees.
Yes, we do. And it seems like every time something happens, we want a committee for something else. And I don't know you guys' feeling about Venmo and all those other stuff, but I think it just opens up the town for a lot of liability.
Yeah.
A lot of fraud things are going on those, most of those units, so platforms. So I don't know. Want to do minutes?
Sure.
Minutes of August 26, 2025. Anybody have anything?
I have no problems.
I'll make a motion to accept that written.
Second,
All those in favor? Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Anything else for the town?
Nope.
I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
So moved.
second.
All those in favor? Aye. Good night, everyone.
How'd we do, Marilyn?